The concept of having to go to work to gain money, to pay to live on an earth I didn't ask to be on, yeah, it really feels like a subscription service I never signed up for. Yeah, and the trial period ended way too fast. Like, one minute I'm a kid watching cartoons, the next minute I'm paying rent to stay alive on a floating rock. Who designed this system? I mean, work so I can afford food, so I can have energy to go back to work? It's a scam. Okay, and the worst part is if you complain, people hit you with, that's life. Yeah, well, life needs an update then, okay, because this version is glitchy. Okay, every morning I wake up like, did I choose this? Was there an options menu I missed? Because if there was a button for free housing or unlimited sleep, I definitely didn't see it. Okay, I'm basically clocking in every day to avoid dying from basic expenses. Okay, like imagine explaining that to a child. Yeah, buddy, mommy goes to work so that we don't die. And don't even get me started on taxes. Why am I paying someone to take money from money I never wanted to earn in the first place, but that I now need? Honestly, I think we were just meant to vibe in nature and eat. But no, now I have to answer emails from people I've never met so I don't end up living under a bridge. I would not recommend this.
Feel exactly how this guy feels.
Keep in mind also, the thing that really bothers me about all these people, car insurance, credit card, landlords, fucking everybody, the utility company, the water company, they all speak to you as though you are voluntarily doing this, as though they are doing you a favor. I don't want to pay for any of this shit. I don't want to do any of this. I didn't ask to do any of this at all. I didn't ask for it. I didn't even have to be fucking alive. I don't want to do this. I don't want to pay my car insurance. I don't want car insurance. I don't want to give you my new driver's license. I don't want to fucking do that, but I have to for some fucking reason, because for some fucking reason, in order to be alive, you have to pay 20 different people $200. And you have to keep reciting random digits of numbers. Everything about being alive is just fucking numbers over and over again. Important numbers for this, important numbers for that. You gotta type in this password, you gotta type in this number, you gotta type in this thing, and if you get it wrong, you're gonna go to jail.
The whole theory of, we're the only things on the planet that pay to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never heard that? No. Oh, we're the only,
wow,
only
that kind
species.
of is like bringing tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Isn't it? We're the only ones who pay to be here, dude. We can't just be here anymore. Like, no animal pays to be here. They're just here on the planet.
No, I'm like, that's actually like making me emotional. That's sad. That's a sad existence.
This should say the world is now under $330 trillion in debt. To who, damn it? How are we supposed to be the smartest damn species out here on this earth, but we the only dumbass species out here paying to be on earth? How the hell that work? How do we get into this environment? Who decided that they was gonna start charging for all this free shit? Water. This big ass globe right here that y'all see is made of mostly water. How the hell we charging for water? Water come out the sky as well, and it's under the ground. Why are we charging for water? Food be running around on the ground, walking, meandering on the ground, eating grass. Why do we have to pay for that? Fruit and vegetables grow out the ground and out of trees. Why are we sitting here paying for all this stuff if we supposed to be so damn smart? This is some bullshit. And we don't even need half the shit we be buying. Those corporations and folks that's trying to make all this damn money told us what we need to buy for consumerism.
Just your daily reminder that we live on a planet that grows free food, unlimited resources, and we've had access to renewable, clean energy forever. We were born on this planet with abundance. Scarcity was manufactured.
It's pretty crazy how expensive it is to be alive right now. I know that's something that we've all noticed, like the price of things are going up. Go to the grocery store, you're spending more money, getting less items. Then my grandfather used to tell me how when he was a child, he would go to the store with a nickel, buy some things, and come back with change. Think about that, going to a store with a nickel, buying stuff, and having change left over. What happened? Is everything just more valuable now? Are things just naturally more expensive? Well, the more I've learned, the more I research, you see that it's inflation. Our dollar has lost its buying power because there's so much in circulation. When you allow the dollar not to be backed by anything of substance, no gold, no silver, they can just print as much of it as they want. Well, then that leaves us to be set up to be constantly on a rat wheel or a hamster wheel. Now, I've watched all these finance videos. They give you all these tips and tricks on investing and, putting your money in the right places, and eventually you can make it to that wealthy class. And that's all well and good. I'm going to do those things. I'm doing those things. But a smart person is intelligent enough to know, well, if I'm not in control of the policies that go into determining the value of my money, can you ever really truly have freedom when they can just change the rules, change how much is in circulation, and mess up the value of your dollar? That's pretty crazy to me. Like, can you have true freedom when somebody else is controlling your money? I always like to talk about books. Check out a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island. It's about the creation of the Federal Reserve. And ever since they created the Federal Reserve, man, it's a game. We getting played.
Why do we have to pay to live on the planet we were born on? Really think about that. You didn't sign a contract when you took your first breath. You never agreed to rent space on Earth. So why does basic survival, eating, drinking, having shelter come with a cost? And more importantly, who are we actually paying? Who decided they owned the land, the oceans, the air? Who laid claim to the planet's resources and said, "This is mine, you owe me just for existing"? Take water, for example. It covers most of the earth, falls freely from the sky, and is essential to life, yet people die every day from thirst. We pour billions into war, but claim desalination plants are too expensive. The technology is here. We could provide fresh water for everyone, but we don't, because if people could meet their own needs, they'd be harder to control. The truth is, much of the scarcity we see is manufactured. There's enough food, water, land, and resources to support everyone, but it's desperation that keeps the system running. It keeps you working, paying, needing. You're not just paying to live, you're paying to stay confined. Just a theory, not a fact.
The fuck are we doing on this earth, man? Every day, most of us wake up and go to a job that we really don't fucking like, but we can't really quit because we got to get the money to pay the bills that they say is important to pay. What the fuck is the point of this life, man? We go to grocery stores and buy food that God gave us for free. Why the fuck did we pay for lights? Well, that's just the way it is. Fuck you. I'm tired of all this "that's just the way it is" bullshit. This whole fucking system is garbage. America ain't nothing but a big-ass fucking plantation, man. A big-ass fucking plantation. What the fuck are we doing here? There are days I don't want to be on this earth. And I'm not saying I want to unalive myself and nothing like that. But I'm tired, man. It's like, what the fuck is the point of any of this? To work till we 60, 70 years old? Most of us ain't gonna fucking live to see 50. But we gotta work to maybe retire? Man, fuck you and all that bullshit, man. I don't give a fuck about who president, left, right, and all this dumbass shit. I'm tired of this whole fucking game, man. It's a big ass game. It's a big ass charade. America is a fucking plantation. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about it, man. This shit is exhausting. Like, I don't even want to look for another job. I'm gonna walk in there, they gonna ask me, "Why do you want this job?" Bitch, because I need some fucking money to pay the bills that they tell me is important to pay. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Who gave them the right to charge us for water and land they didn't create? We should not be paying anything for our existence on this earth. Let that sink in. Let it scrape against everything that you've been taught. Because the most insane idea humanity ever normalized is that you owe money simply for being alive. You were born here without consent on a planet you did not create, under a sky that no government ever hung, breathing air that no corporation manufactured, and somehow you start life already in debt. That's not normal. That's not moral. That is not even sane. Explain to me how land became owned. Explain how water became a bill. Explain how shelter became rent. Move movement became a license and rest became something you have to earn after selling most of your waking hours. They didn't just monetize labor, they monetized survival. And the moment survival has a price tag, freedom is gone. Because if you must comply to be allowed to live, that is not choice. That is coercion, wearing a suit and calling itself civilization. And don't insult people by calling this just how the world works. That phrase is the psychological gag they stuff in your mouth before they tighten the leash. Miss enough payments and watch how fast the mask drops. They don't just take your house. They don't just shut off your utilities. They take your mobility. They take your dignity. They cage your body, all because you failed to keep up with the subscription fee for being alive. That's not order. That is a threat backed by force. Work itself is not the enemy. Contribution is natural. Humans have always built, always grown, always created, and always shared. What is evil is when contribution stops being voluntary and becomes a condition for survival. What is evil is when fear of hunger, homelessness, and medical neglect is used as the whip. And that fear is not accidental. It's engineered. It keeps you obedient, tired, and arguing with your neighbor instead of questioning the system that's draining you dry. No moral system, none, can justify charging human beings for access to the earth they were born on. If a system requires you to earn the right to exist, then that system is illegitimate at its core. And if hearing this makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is the sound of a lie cracking. You're not lazy for questioning this. You're not crazy for feeling it's wrong. You're dangerous because you're starting to realize the truth. You were never meant to pay for your own existence.
Understand why you have to pay to live on a planet you were born on.
I fucking love this question. I ask myself this question all the time. Why the fuck do we have to pay to live on Earth? Why do we have to pay to exist? And I'm going to break it down in a macro and a micro level, okay? They both connect. The macro is the larger collective picture. The micro is the inner, like, my experience. It's like I, okay? The we is the collective we feel. The macro is the we. The micro is the I feel. I am, I can, I do, I express. It's that I. But in NLP, or I'm sure if you study the brain in a different type of work, you will learn about the concrete thinker and the abstract thinker, okay? The concrete thinker is the one who looks to everyone else for permission. They need authority. So when we're born into life, you are in your concrete brain. It's ego-driven. Me. I need to eat. All we can see is what's right in front of us. Many of us do not exit out of that, so we are constantly looking. And I'm not making excuses for the system. I'm just decoding it. Since you asked why do we pay to live here, this is why we allow it. The concrete brain needs approval. It has to have permission to do something. That's why children ask their parents, Mom, is it okay if I do that? Dad, can I do this? Dad, can I do this? Mom. Am I allowed to go jump off this? And you're like, no. Okay, they listen on a whole, and the no means you can't do it. Many of us don't exit out of that. Many adults don't ever find their abstract thinker. The abstract brain is the part that can give you the tools to imagine yourself in a new timeline. It's the part of you that can stop seeking approval from the system that made you feel like shit, so you can ask and create a new system where you ask yourself. The abstract thinker sees themselves as the authority figure, and they stop looking at the system. So until we make that shift of, I don't see the system who I'm paying money to live here as my authority, as my permission giver, as my end all be all, I'm not going to be able to shift out. But that's literally why, because our micro lens is still tapping into that macro collective level of authority. And our concrete, the concrete doesn't move, right? Think about energy in concrete. Once it sets, it's there. So many people are set in stone. They're set in their concrete way. And that's literally why. Like, that's why. And until we question the quo, until we shift our thinking, until we stop accepting things that do not serve us because that's what our parents made us do, because that's the concrete patterning. What is your concrete patterning? And how can you shift it into that of, I'm free. I am free. I am able to think. I am a free thinker. I do not need the system to tell me what to do. I tell myself what to do. I approve of my own actions. That's the difference. And that's how we shift on a collective level. If more micro pieces, more micro people would step into this idea that I am the abstract thinker, and they would lift up and they would make their game of chess that the elites are playing, it would break their board. They wouldn't be able to play because they are the authority, and we ask them permission and they say yes or no. So until we shift out of that, there will be no change. But new earth is literally abstract brain. Old earth is literally concrete brain. It's fear induced. Abstract thinker is love and creativity induced. And that is the difference. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns.